Today, what came up to speak with you about is this concept of an enemy. And when we think about it, everything is source. Everything is love. Everything is light. Everything is helping us on our journey for our benefit and the benefit of the whole. And so we see this idea of enemy or enemies. It's an illusion. It's absolutely nothing. It's just a belief and a program that humanity has bought into for so long, and it has just been passed on through generation to generation. And it is in this same vein of looking for threats, looking for what's wrong, looking for the enemy. Yet there is no enemy, because everything is helping us. And it's helping us by showing us what is within us. It's a vibrational reality, so we are always attracting what is like us, what is vibrating like us. And so we can attract things that are encouraging, we can attract things to bring us more joy, but we can also be attracting mirrors to show us what is within us. And often these don't feel good, and perhaps that was why someone originally had this idea to call it an enemy, because when they were face to face with it, they didn't feel good. But their feelings were letting them know that they were believing in something that wasn't true. And this is the thing, is that we were never taught as humans what our feelings meant, what our emotions mean. And so we get caught up in these programs and these beliefs. Yet, whenever we have an emotion that doesn't feel good, or if any feeling that doesn't feel good, what it's letting us know, what the body is letting us know, is that we're actually believing in something that is not even true, that we are acting out of alignment. And yes, we want to feel out any energies that come up in the process and feel them out in full. But once they are gone, then we can come back inside and say, what was I believing in that caused me to have that emotional reaction to that scenario, that person, that thing? Because there's always a belief behind every what we would call negative emotion. I put negative in brackets because it's not negative at all. It's actually showing to us, revealing to us what we can let go of, so that we can live a much more joyful, peaceful, happier life. So it is, all emotions are beneficial, and all emotions are meant to be felt. And it's just after we feel them to know that, oh, that didn't feel good. That's letting me know that there's something out of alignment, meaning there's some sort of belief that I am operating from that tells me that the fearful response is what is best. Yet fear is an illusion. But this programming, whenever we don't feel good, that's always fear in some sort. Of course, there's all different types of fear. There's anger, there's sadness, there's frustration, there's annoyance, there's being bothered, there's rushing, fear comes in all different frequencies. And so, but they never feel good. And that's letting us know we're believing in something that's untrue. And then when we let go of that, we can rise up and experience life on a whole new level. So you can see that these negative feelings were actually helping us so much. They're helping us to reach our next level of spiritual growth. So they weren't negative at all. They were very helpful. And we could even go so far to say that it was a positive thing, because by understanding where that was coming from, we were able to rise up to a whole new frequency. We can think of it as a whole new timeline, attracting more of what we desire, expansion in all ways. This is all really, really good. This is all making our life so much better. And so we can be thankful for all emotions and all people who stir up anything that we don't prefer within us, because it's just showing us, oh, I'm believing in some belief or a program or a pattern or some sort of distortion within me. And that's where I'm operating from. And once I let that go, I can be in that same situation or around that same person and not feel any of that. And it is such a beautiful feeling when you experience this, to have, say, resistance to someone, and that we can think of as the enemy. And then once you let go of that resistance and can be around that person, you may not be friends, you may not talk to them, but their presence doesn't cause a emotional reaction. You accept them as they are, you let them be, live and let live, and it's all good. It doesn't take up thoughts in your mind, because as soon as one perceives another as an enemy, it's like the brain and mind goes into like hyperdrive, and it's calculating all these potential bad possibilities and scenarios, and the fight or flight nervous system is turned on, and it kind of puts the body into haywire, and the cells really don't like that. It's like much healthier when we are relaxed and at ease. It's much easier for the body to regenerate and for the body to operate at an optimal health level. And once in a while, when we feel that heightened, don't necessarily want to say a heightened state of awareness, because a heightened state of awareness would mean that we could see through the illusions. I would say sometimes if we do feel guided to, we have to run or to make a move or to get somewhere or do something fast, and we feel that rush and that kind of stress. So once in a while, this is perfectly fine. But what has happened is humans, we live in almost a semi-constant stress state because of all this programming and trauma, and it all gets piled up and piled up. And the brain is looking for these enemies. And it's so fascinating to me, I was thinking about this today, is that when you tell the brain to look for enemies, you could meet someone and I'm seeing two different timelines. So say the brain is looking for enemies. You could meet someone and you could have an experience with this person, and you could maybe think, oh, they looked at me in this certain way, which means a certain thing, and start creating these stories in the mind. Or on the next timeline, you know that everyone is helping you, everything is benefiting you. And when you meet this person, you just have quite a neutral experience. And when you leave, it's all good. You never think of them again. Or if you do, it's just a fond memory. But on the other timeline, the one who thought of them as a potential threat, as something could be wrong, or they're an enemy, as soon as they leave that situation, their mind is going to be hyper focused on that person. And that focus and creating stories of resistance, and that is actually going to keep attracting the person they don't even want to them. And this could be the exact same person, just meeting the situation with two different perspectives, or we could say mindsets, or having the programming that is looking for an enemy, and then being free from that and seeing the reality that everything is a mirror and everything is helping us. So there's a huge difference. And you can see how when someone doesn't realize the nature of reality and they have this programming of looking for enemies, wow, reality is tough. I know this because I have lived like that. And eventually one who is operating like that, they do attract things that like life is a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so I'm here to share there's another way, that we don't have to be looking for enemies. Because really, truly, from a higher perspective, enemies do not exist. There are no enemies. Everything is source. And here I will share a gem, an absolute gem that helps me almost every day. Every time I'm out in public around other people and these old programmings maybe try to kick in, and I remind myself, everyone is source and everyone is helping me. And when we break that down, when we see everyone as source, we see everyone as perfect already, as innocent, as pure, as love. They don't need saving. They don't need us to try to help them in some way. And then when we see that everything is helping us, that puts this positive spin on it. That makes us feel good, which is feeling in alignment. And we realize, wow, everything is helping me, literally everything. And this can completely also change your experience of the same person in the same situation. If you look at them as a helper, how that changes things. You feel gratitude for them. You feel thankfulness. You see them as a gift. You feel safe. You feel comfortable. You're relaxed. You're at ease. It's the complete opposite of looking for enemies. So it's remembering that everyone is source. Everyone is helping me. And we can expand that further. Everything is source. Everything is helping me. Into all realms and all dimensions. All is source and all is helping me. And we feel relaxed. We feel at peace. We feel grateful for this assistance. We feel grateful for everything. And in that state, with that feeling, we're going to attract more that we'll feel grateful about. And so it just helps us on our path, attracting more of what we desire and less of what we don't. And so next time you may have an old pattern or an old programming that makes someone or something in your mind an enemy, catch yourself and remember, this is source. This is helping me. And it may be helping you to set boundaries. It may be helping you to speak your truth. It may be helping you to trust your intuition and walk away. But it's helping you. It's all helping you. And the source within each being is pure unconditional love. does support you, accept you, approve of you, appreciate you, regardless of what the human avatar character may be doing. Because the human is likely operating from programming, and that in itself, it's not a fun place to be. And so, knowing that, we can have compassion for that other aspect of ourself and see them as source. We don't have to be their friend. We don't have to say hi. We don't have to smile at them. Of course, with everything, trust your intuitive guidance. Trust what you are getting from within. Sometimes we may be called to smile. Sometimes we may be called to say hello, how's it going? But I'm just saying the other way, because so often we think there's only one way to do it. And I'm just wanting to provide you with a little more context, because that's what I've learned on my path, is that often what Spirit guides me to do isn't what my previous programming would let me know to do. And yet when I listen to my higher self, when I listen to Spirit, everything turns out amazing. Everything turns out better than I could even imagine. And I've been living this path for long enough to know that I will be listening to Spirit and my higher self the rest of my life. 100 and 1,000 million%, because that is how much better it makes life, how much easier. And in the process, these programs come up. Yet when they come up, we can transmute them. We can receive the perspective from our higher self to put in its place. Because whenever we have a belief or program, we need to put love in its place, however that looks. And I've just given you an example with this enemies thing. So the belief was that there are enemies outside or in the ethers, or however you want to look at it. But the truth is, it's a vibrational reality, and we're attracting everything we need to grow on our spiritual path, which is another way of saying we're attracting everything we need to gently nudge us back to our true self. And what is our true self? Well, that is our higher self. That is living in the frequency of joy, abundance, health, peace, prosperity, everything any human ever wanted, and everything is helping you get there. There are no enemies. And we can celebrate that happy fact and remind ourselves of it often. And the more of us that do, the more we'll seed this into the human collective consciousness. And simply by understanding this yourself, that is causing makes a huge difference. So wow, we can feel the impact that we are having simply by knowing this truth. It not only has an impact on the collective, on the planet, and beyond, yet it has an impact on us. We enjoy life more. We have more fun. We're more at peace. We do more of what we love. And that's what it's all about. So yes, I will leave this video here. And I send you so much love on your journey today. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.